Hello everyone and welcome to my first discussion video. So today Cars 3 just turned 5 years old. Can't believe Cars 3 has been out for 5 years now. Oh, and it's my birthday too. Wow, I can't believe that this year I'm sharing a birthday with Cars 3, the movie. Surprisingly, the Cars fandom is actually divided on this movie. I thought everyone liked it, but I guess not. There seems to be 3 types of people in the Cars community. People who absolutely despise the movie, people who only shit on the ending, and people who absolutely love the movie. Yeah, from the title of this video, I think you can figure out which category of people I'm in. But with all that out of the way, let's start our discussion about Cars 3. I split this video into 3 sections, and our first section is... Now first I'd like to talk about what this movie represents in the trilogy. After the abysmal Cars 2, it seemed that the series was going to be put to rest. The movie performed horribly with critics, and it was clear that nobody wanted any more Cars movies. But despite all that, they still made another one. Now at first people were like, come on, seriously? Another Cars movie? Haven't we had enough of those already? But then they saw this. Yeah, it was clear that this franchise was going back to its roots. This movie saved the Cars franchise. Like, yeah, the toys made a lot of money, so they weren't stopping with that. But honestly, it seemed like Pixar wasn't going to be making any more shorts or series or anything. But Cars 3 changed that. It left us with a high note and wrapped up the movies perfectly. Even if you don't like the movie itself, you should still give Cars 3 some credit because it ultimately saved the franchise. Alright, now I think I spent enough time talking about the contributions of this movie. So let's move on to the next section of this video, which is... Okay, so I'm going to split this section into 2 subsections. I'm not going to be talking about everything about this movie. I'm just going to cover the main 2 problems the Cars fandom seems to have with this movie. The first one being McQueen retiring. Honestly, I couldn't see Pixar making Cars 3 about anything else. Obviously, don't want to continue the spy filler stuff from the second movie. So the logical choice to make is going back to the Cars movie that people actually liked. And who steals the show in that movie? Doc Hudson, of course. So the logical step to do here is to make him a big part of the movie. But how do you work him into the main plot? Well, how about making McQueen go through something that Doc has gone through, so he thinks of what Doc would have did and maybe take inspiration from him? Okay, that's great, but what will we have him go through? Retirement! And thus, Cars 3 was born. Having McQueen go through retirement is such a neat idea, as it allows us to see and learn more about Doc Hudson and things about him that we didn't know about before. I get it. It's kinda sad to see McQueen struggle like for most Cars fans. But guys, Lightning McQueen is a fictional character. He's gonna be okay, alright? I get it. Have that connection with him since you were a child, but still. You should let him go. That's kind of the point of the movie. Letting go of things you love and you're passionate about. Like, imagine if McQueen won the last race. That would be so bland and predictable. But having McQueen actually retire puts a twist on the moral that we've seen countless times before. Sometimes you should give up. Accept retirement. You will find something else you enjoy. It's time to move on. It's kind of like Monsters University in a way. And now it's time to talk about the other reason that people hate this movie, which is Cruz Ramirez. Now, I don't necessarily love Cruz Ramirez. She's okay in my opinion, but she's not a bad character at all. I just feel like she's just a plot tool, someone for McQueen to mentor. hey, maybe they'll develop her character in the future and make her more than that, but as of now, she doesn't have much of a character in my opinion. But she's not downright offensive or annoying. It's definitely not on the same level as Mater in Cars 2, but there are some people out there who passionately despise her, and I just don't get it. The people hating on her are just mad about McQueen retiring, so they blame it on Cruz. Cruz did nothing wrong. She did her job in Cars 3, and she didn't become annoying or forced. Yet. So, I just don't get it. Now let's move on to our last and most annoying section, which is... Okay, now despite the last movie, which was a good sequel, still being divisive, certain people want even more. Now I won't mention any names in this category since I don't want any problems, but I will bring up some examples here. There are 3 types of people regarding this topic. The people who want a Cars 4, the people who believe that there is going to be a Cars 4, and the people who purposely spread misinformation about Cars 4. Okay, first the people who want a Cars 4. Why? There are 2 ways a Cars 4 could go. First, McQueen racing in the Piston Cup. This would be the most offensive garbage the Cars franchise would ever put out. Now I know people are gonna mention this in the comments. Yes, McQueen did technically say that he would keep racing in the Piston Cup in Cars 3.
Oh, I'm gonna keep racing.
But I don't think he actually meant what he was saying. Honestly, I see that as Pixar not wanting to trigger the whiny Cars fans. I mean, if some Cars fans are already shitting on this movie as it is, I can't imagine how they would react if that line wasn't included. And if they did make him race in the Piston Cup in Cars 4 or a series or a short or anything, I'd blame that and not Cars 3. And if they did make a Cars 4 about McQueen racing in the Piston Cup, that would render Cars 3 completely pointless. There would not be a single difference between McQueen at the start of Cars 3 to him at the start of Cars 4. Except for, like, maybe the paint job. I don't fucking know. It would completely ruin his character arc. And if Cars 4 was about McQueen racing in the Piston Cup, that's it. That would be the end. There would be no saving grace for the franchise. Because if you make that bad of a slip-up, you can't come back from it. It'd be a permanent stain on the franchise that can't be ignored. We were lucky to come back from Cars 2. Pixar did an amazing job of retconning that. Ignoring that. Recovering from that. But what if Cars 4 was about Cruz? That would be boring as hell. Some people brought up the idea of Cruz racing to save Radiator Springs, but that would just be boring and downright depressing. I don't think that idea is all bad though. If they made a short about Cruz trying to win her first Piston Cup, that would be cool. I just don't see how they would stretch that out to a 90-minute runtime. Or they can always revisit the spy thriller plot, but I don't think Pixar can stoop to that level. Now let's talk about the people who actually believe that Cars 4 is happening. There are no evidence supporting that Pixar are working on a Cars 4. Actually, there are more evidence that debunk that. Now I get why Cars 4, the final ride, quote-unquote, was a big thing back in 2018 and 19. That was kind of a dark period of the Cars fandom. But now there are more evidence than ever of Cars 4 not happening. Why do people still believe this? Are they in denial? They completely treat Cars 4 happening as a fact. Like, don't go around thinking it's a fact when it's not even confirmed yet. Their main point is that Pixar are secretly working on a Cars 4, which doesn't even make sense at all. Do you really think Pixar care enough to hide an entire movie for so many years from a certain fandom? They were actually making Cars 4, they would market the hell out of that thing. Pixar is a studio after all. They want to draw attention to their movies and create buzz around it over the internet. Hiding a movie for so long is just stupid. Especially since Pixar said they were only creating originals for at least 5 years. And they're already working on Cars on the Road. Why would Pixar work on 2 Cars projects at once? Cars isn't Pixar's only franchise, you know. They recently started using the SNL skit featuring Owen Wilson as justification for their beliefs. And people even started commenting on how the script is so bad and that John Lasseter messed up. Honestly, if that was the actual Cars 4, I wouldn't even mind at all. It would be absolutely hilarious. Now the people who spread misinformation. This and the last category of people go hand in hand. The people who spread misinformation influence the people who believe Cars 4 is happening, therefore spreading it even more and making more people believe that Cars 4 is happening. Now, spreading misinformation has always been a thing ever since the internet's creation, whether it's on purpose or not. But the stuff they claim as real is so bad. Now, I'm gonna cover the name of this channel, but take a look at this. Some kid actually claimed that this is a real Cars 4 Junior novelization, and it doesn't even have a hardcover, it's just A4 paper stapled together. Now, I haven't watched the entire thing, but it uses fan-made edits and screenshots from previous movies, and it looks like it was made on Microsoft Word. Now, if this Junior novelization was real, I think we would have gotten teasers of the movie way before. Even the description says it would release on 2022 on theaters. But, I don't see the movie anywhere, buddy. Where is it, huh? There was even a pinned comment telling people to stop disliking the video. Yep, it's clear that the person who made this is a kid who's too young to be on YouTube. Okay, so that was the video. We talked about how Cars 3 influenced the franchise in a big way, how the movie was actually a pretty good sequel, and why Cars 4 shouldn't and probably wouldn't happen. I can't believe that it's been 5 years already. But before I wrap this video up, tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you have to say about this movie. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it somewhere in between? Seriously, if you have anything to say about Cars 3, let me know in the comments below. I want to get a conversation started. And now if you'd excuse me, I'm gonna go eat my birthday cake. See you later!